We went from barely scraping by with Stranger Things Season 5 crumbs to being fed every single day just like that. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today, I've got another Stranger Things Season 5 video. I believe that's 4 days in a row for those keeping track at home, as 2 more articles have dropped, and we've gotten more official images from Season 5 that are pretty revealing. I'll get into those later, but before we do, hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts on these new images, as well as everything the Duffers reveal in this article, and of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. I mean, quite a bit. And if you want extra content from the world of Stranger Things and beyond, including live streams, Patreon is the place to be. Lots of great things are happening over there as that community continues to grow, so consider becoming a patron. So since yesterday, 2 more articles have dropped, one from Time and one from Empire, both detailing Stranger Things Season 5. There are quotes from the Duffers and other cast members, and we even get official images from the season. The article from Time was very in-depth, so much so that, to be honest, it was a little too spoilery for my liking. So I stopped reading it pretty early on. If you want to check out the whole thing, you can go seek that out on your own, but I'm not going to get into the spoilery territory that they did with some of the descriptions. But a couple things from that article that I'll note that I felt are kind of safe to take on is that there's going to be apparently a one-take style shot in episode 4 Sorcerer, likely at the military base, and that's something that I've wanted forever. Ever since there were murmurs of Vecna pulling up at the military base months ago, I've been thinking how cool would it be to see like a one-take shot of Vecna and or Demogorgons taking out all these guards, and that may or may not be what we end up getting based on the article. We also got a new image of Dustin, and he's very clearly in Hawkins High School, unfortunately getting bullied, it seems. There are 2 dudes, 2 jocks wearing Hawkins High Letterman jackets, and I've had to bet they're the same dudes that are going to kick his ass later on, because if you remember back in the behind the scenes teaser, and of course in the trailer itself, the teaser trailer that is, we see Dustin visiting Eddie's grave. Well, in the behind the scenes teaser, you can see 2 dudes who look just like him in Hawkins High Letterman jackets who pull up, and after these scenes and all the marketing we've seen, Dustin has a black eye, his shirt's a little more ripped, he clearly is going to get beat up by them, and the thought process I have here is Dustin is one of the few people, if not the only person, still representing or wearing the Hellfire Club, which has sort of become an icon for the demonic side of Hawkins and the evil that has overtaken the city. So a lot of people probably still blame Eddie Munson and still blame the Hellfire Club for what happened, even though they're just so unbelievably out of the loop with everything.
You can't handle the truth.
So they're just using Eddie and Hellfire as something to sort of project the blame onto, so they can be like, oh, it's all their fault, when in reality they don't know what the hell is going on. So it's going to be really devastating to see Dustin go through it. He's obviously still going to be grieving Eddie, and he's still getting bullied for representing a club that was very welcoming with open arms to those, where Eddie was a positive role model, right? He was the shepherd to the sheep, and he gave people hope and a place to feel accepted and comfortable. And it's just a damn shame that Dustin's probably going to get beat up for still wanting to represent that. A lot of people just don't know the truth out there. We also got an article from Empire, though, and this one featured some pretty significant pieces of information for this final season. For starters, we'll address the elephant in the room. We got this new crystal clear image of a Demogorgon in the tunnels, and if you look at what that Demogorgon is going up against, it is Lucas Sinclair. You can clearly see he's holding up his hand, and if you line up this official image with the shot of Lucas from the teaser trailer also in the tunnels, they're about 100% from the same exact moment in this show. Lucas in the teaser trailer has blood on his shirt already here. He looks beaten down, so it seems like the Demogorgon has been chasing him through these tunnels. He might have reached a dead end, and unfortunately this could be a moment where Lucas gets severely injured. So I'm kind of having to readjust where I would rank the characters based on how safe they are, because this is like very alarming. But the article also details how apparently there will be action sequences from the perspective of the Demogorgon, from the Demogorgon's POV, if you will. That sounds awesome. Unlike anything we've seen in the world of Stranger Things, I think there's going to be a lot of exciting new creative choices here made by the Duffers to make it feel more cinematic, and this is certainly one of those. Hearing this also reminded me of how at one point in time there were rumors that Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Prey, was supposed to be directing one of the episodes in season 5, and I'm thinking it probably was because of his directing of that movie and the crazy cool action sequences that just kind of immerse you into the world with the Predator and with the main character Naru. So I'm thinking they probably were like, this guy knows how to direct action. We also love Predator, and a lot of the Demogorgon stuff has been an homage to that. Let's get Trachtenberg to direct, but that's a topic for another time. He obviously didn't come on board, unfortunately.
Come on, kill me, I'm here.
But if you think about it, having shots from the Demogorgon's POV really explain this shot from the teaser trailer where we see the tunnels and down the way you can see Lucas and some other characters running from something or someone. It checks out now that we're seeing the Demogorgon chasing after them. I just think this is such a creative twist. The Demogorgons have been around since season 1. At least there was one Demogorgon in season 1. They've multiplied since then, but it's become an iconic creature from Stranger Things, almost the iconic thing that everyone associates with the show, and so to have not one but multiple back in this final season just feels right. And to take it one step further here, I've kind of teased this idea in past videos. It does seem like Vecna or the Mind Flayer might be sending out Demogorgons to go after the different groups, right? There's a clear shot of Demo dogs in the hospital with Lucas, Max, and Vicky. There's a shot of a Demogorgon busting down the barn door with Joyce, Robin, Erica, and Derek inside, as well as Will. And so it seems like Demogorgons are going after different character groupings. Well, it seems like they might all intentionally be sent out, and if you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, how do the Demogorgons know where they all are? There could be a spy involved. We know in season 2, the shadow particle form of the Mind Flayer possesses Will, and ultimately Will is a spy, setting up all the people from Hawkins' lab to go bite the dust at the little portal hub in the tunnels in season 2. What if we get another reveal where Will's been repossessed, or maybe Max is involved, and when she has to flee the hospital, she ends up in the tunnels, and that reveals a location. I'm not sure how they want to reveal it. We have seen a shot of the shadow particles of the Mind Flayer around the WSQK radio tower, as well as Will collapsing to the floor in the radio station, so never say never, he could get repossessed. Similarly, we do have a shot of Will yelling run in the Doom date announcement. We've been theorizing what he's yelling run for. Well, what if he's rediscovered some powers he once had, or he's found that true sight again that they refer to in season 2, and somehow he is able to tap into this connection with the hive mind stronger than ever before, and so he's able to actually see these Demogorgons being sent out after the different groups, and so all he can do is sit there and yell run at the top of his lungs. Maybe he's also having a communication with someone via the void, like say Max. It's all up in the air. It's worth noting the Duffer Brothers in one of these articles also compared the action sequences in this final season to those of Game of Thrones, specifically Battle of the Bastards. Battle of the Bastards to me is a top-tier episode of television ever. I adore Game of Thrones. I watched it many times leading up to season 8. I haven't revisited it fully since then because I just can't stomach the way they wrapped up that show. It ripped my heart out. I don't think we have to worry about that with Stranger Things because the creators aren't trying to dip and go do other things like they were with Game of Thrones. But if this is a legitimate comparison, we are going to be feasting in this final season. I just imagine when they compare it to Battle of the Bastards, I'm not envisioning humans and Demogorgons charging into battle. I'm more so just envisioning cinematic level showdowns where you've got Demogorgons and Vecna going against the military for a bit and just really epic moments. That's how I view Battle of the Bastards, epic. And also emotional. There's a lot of payoff in that episode. With this being the final season of Stranger Things, I imagine it'll play out similarly where there's a lot of emotional payoff accompanying these action sequences. And another quote from the Duffers, they said, with it being the final season, they don't have to hold anything back. So to me, no one is truly safe, I guess. So with this shot of Lucas in the tunnels bleeding and a Demogorgon looming over him, he could go down right here. I don't think that's something they would want to spoil in marketing, so maybe this is one of those red herring instances where it's like, guys, look, Lucas is in trouble, but in reality, the trouble lies elsewhere with, say, Max, someone he might be trying to protect. Who's to say, but really and truly, we have to reevaluate, hey, no one is safe. In past seasons, they've said, no, we're not going to kill them, we got to save them for the next season. Well, there is no next season. This is it. No one is safe at the end of the day, even our favorite characters, even the kid characters. Someone's going to die in this season. Someone, at least one person. Who's it going to be? I don't know. It might be Lucas, though. He's definitely gone up on the betting odds list if you were a sports book. But those are some of the major talking points I wanted to address. Of course, there's lots of other juicy tidbits and info in those articles. I didn't even read it all because some of it felt like it was revealing too much, and I want there to be as much surprise as possible when I sit down to watch this final season. But did you guys read the articles? What'd you think? If so, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on all that, and of course, your take on this image of the Demogorgon standing over Lucas. Hit that like button, subscribe to that notification bell, and be on the lookout for more videos coming very, very soon, including exclusive content on Patreon. If you want to join that community, feel free to. But thank you guys again, and until next time, I'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down.